Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to be doing another tier list video, and it's going to be about my favorite show ever, Bob's Burgers. I love Bob's Burgers so much, and me and my friends are just obsessed with it. I don't think we started watching it until like season 2 or 3, and then we went back and watched all of it, and then whatever, kept going. Like, I would watch seasons 1 through 6, and then it would end, and then I would just start it back over again. I would rewatch it and rewatch it. And my friends and I love this show so much that we are planning on getting matching Bob's Burgers tattoos. Well, not matching, just a collective Bob's Burgers tattoo set. And we all believe that we are like a lot like one character. You know how you do things, right? Like, you watch a TV show and you're like, oh my god, you're so like this character, blah blah blah. So out of our friend group, I'm most like Jean, who is my favorite character. I love Jean so much. Stop following me in Frond.
Stop following me! Stop following me in Frond!
I love that episode. I love Jean as a whole. I think his humor really like jives with my humor. Like, we're basically the same person. And honestly, something that I noticed about him and a lot of the characters that I really enjoy the most is, I mean, Jean specifically is a very like chaotic good character. Like, you have no idea what he's gonna say next, but it's not ever usually like a bad thing. It's just usually like, what are you saying? So I think I tend to like really enjoy like chaotic good or chaotic neutral characters. And I don't know what that says about me as a person, but that's just how I feel. And I think he has very Leo energy. I don't know when his actual birthday is. It might have been mentioned in the show, but he does have very Leo energy to me. Like, pay attention to me, love me. Like, that's that's how I feel he is, and that's how I feel I am.
Look at me. There's no one going to comment on my Sasquatch mask!
I just love him so much. And my friend Melody is like the Louise in our family. And my friend Katelyn is the Bob of the family. She's kind of just like, I hate all of you. But I also love you because I have to. And so those are our like respective characters. It's just such a good show. I think it's timeless. It's just so funny, wholesome, good, and it's not like it's playing it safe or anything like that. It's just a good comedic show. It knows that you can be funny without being offensive, and that's kind of what I love about it. So my friends love the show too, so I am going to bring them into this video at the end to have them like argue why their character should be higher or lower on the list. It might be the character that they identify with, but it might be some other character that I decided to put somewhere and they're like, no, that's not right. So we'll see what they have to say about that. So without further ado, let's get into my rankings. So I made this tier list. I'm going to put a link of it in the description below. Honestly, I want to see your rankings. The last time I did this, I had a couple people send them to me, and I was like, yes, I respect. I do want to clarify though, I had a lot of comments about like saying like, well, I don't know if we can say like we love because I don't love this person or whatever. And it's like, it's just a funny way for me to say that I love these things, okay? Like, I just thought it would be funny to say that. You do not have to feel the same way as I do about these characters. I don't think that you will. Maybe some of them, but we all have different tastes and we all see things from a different perspective, and we're just different people. So I absolutely don't like take offense if you feel differently about these characters. If you see my hair fall in the back of my head, no you didn't. Anyway, so first of all is Andy and Ollie. We appreciate Andy and Ollie. Okay, so my friend Melody and I think that we are very much like Andy and Ollie together because we love each other so much, and we're just like, oh my god, I want to be inseparable with you, basically. And so I really love them for that, but at the same time, like, they're not that big of characters. They are very funny when they're in the episodes, and I really enjoy their parts. But, you know, there's not like something so substantial to them that I need to put them up higher than that, you know? Now, Bob, I mean, how can you not love Bob? Bob is the main character of the show, and he's funny, He's apathetic sometimes, but he's also just he is just such a very good dad. Like, obviously there's points where he's not.
It's your daughter?
Oh, they work with me at the restaurant.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Such a good father.
Oh, no, it's more about not paying regular, whatever.
But he loves them, you know, he loves his family, even if he gets tired of them sometimes. I think everyone can relate to that. He's just a good guy, you know? He tries his hardest, and we can't fault him for that, okay? He also talks to inanimate objects a lot, and talks for them, which I think is hilarious. And I mean, I don't talk for inanimate objects usually, except my cats. They're not inanimate, though. But I do talk to inanimate objects all the time, so I can relate. You might not remember this person, but his name is Deli Guy. I'm putting him in We Enjoy. I think he's literally in one episode, so I'm like, okay, listen. Logic goes out the window when feelings are involved, okay? I love Deli Guy. I love what he represents, which is that Bob is bisexual. Listen, there's always got to be at least one character in a show where I headcanon them as bisexual, but I think he literally says in this scene,
"Hey, what do you want to do?
I don't
You want to go to the beach? Huh?
No, maybe. Wait, I'm straight. I mean, I'm mostly straight.
Let's grab a coffee.
Call Tony.
No, let's just have sex. Oh, God, this feels so great.
I suggest, sorry, I gotta go cook this. Also, I'm married, but if I wasn't, who am I kidding? You're out of my league. It would never work.
So anyway, Bob is bisexual. So I mean, that's one of my favorite scenes of all time. So I think I just have to put him in there like that. Mr. Fischoeder. I appreciate Mr. Fischoeder. I think he's a good, like, antagonist to Bob. He's obviously, like, he's a landlord. So he's not a good person. He's not great at all. He's actually very, like, evil sometimes. He's very in it for himself, just wants money, very greedy. But I appreciate his place in the show. I think it adds a lot to the show, so I have to appreciate it. Gail? No. We hate Gail. I can't get behind it, you know? I think I love Megan Mullally, who plays her. Please don't get me wrong, I love Megan Mullally. She's a bisexual queen, but I just don't like Gail. I think she's very frustrating. I get a lot of secondhand embarrassment from her. When there's secondhand embarrassment on television or in a movie or something, like something that you are meant to feel embarrassment from because this character is embarrassed, I physically, like, shrivel up. Like, it bothers me so much. So anyway, okay, little baby boy Gene. We love Gene. I'm going to rearrange them at the end, but I have to put him first right now because he's literally perfect in every way. And I can't even further expand upon why I love Gene so much. He's just so funny. He's so, like, I hate saying, like, he's so random. But he is, like, he's just, this shit he says is so out there sometimes, but it is so funny. And at the same time, even though it's, like, out there, it also still fits in with the scenario. Like, he always says something that's related, but in such a weird way.
Channel 6 News! They'll finger anything with a pulse!
I'm pretty sure their slogan is their fingers on the pulse, Gene.
No!
That can't be right.
It's right.
And it's just so funny to me. Hugo and Ron. I acknowledge. And actually, I think I'm going to move Mr. Fischoeder down here because I think they're kind of very similar in a way. But actually, I might put them up here. I don't know. They're kind of, I don't know. Maybe I'll put them at the end of We Appreciate. I like Ron, obviously. I think Ron is actually a really good guy and he tries to help out sometimes. But Hugo, he is one of Bob's very prominent rivals. Hugo's a health inspector. He wants to shut the place down because Bob is married to his ex-fiance. And now he holds this grudge against Bob. And Bob and Hugo's dynamic is very fun to me. I really like that episode where they're on the beach, the nude beach, and they start, like, they do, like, a triathlon or something like that, and I think Hugo sings, like,
"You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down."
It's so funny to me. I love that. I mean, Bob's Burgers has a lot of like musical elements to their show, which I'm not a big music person, but I love all of it. It's so fun and just creative, and I don't know. I love it so much. Jimmy Jr. Listen, okay, I just don't like Jimmy Jr. He's a child, so I can't say much, but he doesn't care about anyone but himself, like, realistically. He's so callous sometimes, especially with Tina, that I just am like, why are you being so rude? Like, I don't know, it's just so, he just has no regard for anyone else. Jimmy Pesto, interestingly enough, I would say along the same lines of Hugo, a very good rivalry going on there. I think Jimmy Pesto has more substance to him than Hugo, I think, maybe? I don't know. I think he appears more often than Hugo. So his rivalry with Bob is very present because his storefront is right across the street from his. So, you know, they have competing restaurants. So it's very interesting to watch that. And I love that when they just like start insulting each other and they're both just not very good at it. Coochie Copy. That's S tier, baby. We love Coochie Copy. Obviously this is one of like the memes that I included in here. It's just so funny to me anytime Coochie Copy is in an episode and just like an actual like character. And what's really funny about Coochie Copy is not that it's H. John Benjamin voicing Coochie Copy, it's actually H. John Benjamin voicing Bob voicing Coochie Copy. Along the same lines, Lance the Turkey, which is literally just a turkey that Bob voices in one episode. It's so funny though. He talks to this turkey and like, I think he takes absinthe, so then like the turkey like animates into life and everything. It's just so funny. Linda. Let's see, Linda. We enjoy Linda. I mean, I love Linda, but I don't love her as much as Jean. I think she's funny, but for the most part, like, these characters are my favorite characters, and so I have to keep them separate from everyone else. Which brings me to Louise, and we have to put her here. Listen, I already know that Melody's going to argue about that because of course she thinks Louise is S tier. Like, of course she does. And I love Louise so much, but she's so terrifying sometimes that I'm like, oh my god. She's very confrontational, and that scares me even more. So I have to put her in the we enjoy. Marshmallow! Marshmallow's perfect. There's nothing wrong about Marshmallow. Marshmallow is literally the best. I love her. She's amazing, and I fuck anyone who says otherwise. She's amazing. Mickey, so most people probably wouldn't even have this guy on the list, right? But I'm Bill Hader trash, so we put him and we appreciate. He's not a big character. He's literally, I think, only in 2 episodes, so I can't put him any higher than this. But I do love him so much. I love Bill Hader. It's funny because I have worked at a bank in the past, and he literally, his first episode is him robbing a bank, and I've been robbed. So I, like, that episode is not really that great for me, but I love it still so much. I mean, it's not very realistic, so it's easier for me to be like, yeah, I love this. But if that were to happen in real life, I would have cried. So it's weird to me that I love this so much, but I think it's really funny. I think his dynamic with Louise, I think, is really funny.
You want to talk to your daddy?
No, I want to talk to you. You've been selected as the subject of my important person school essay.
Shut up.
Oh, don't tell me to shut up!
And I enjoy Mickey, so there's that. Millie, there's one character that I hate, and this is the one. I literally cannot stand Millie. She's terrifying to me. She's basically like Louise's stalker. I mean, I have personal reasons why Millie is so terrifying to me. I've had a friend in the past that exhibited similar behaviors to Millie that I just do not enjoy watching. I have to put her in the we hate category. She's terrifying to me and I don't like it. Mort, I'm gonna acknowledge Mort. I think Mort's a good guy, and there's that episode where he like is the family's chauffeur, basically. I mean, there's a couple prominent Mort episodes. I think it's funny that his name is Mort and he's a mortician. I don't know. I think there's just not a lot to him that I can, you know, enjoy. Like, there's not a lot of substance to him. Mr. Ambrose, I think I'm gonna put him in We Appreciate. I think he's funny. Billy Eichner's whole thing is like yelling is funny, and to an extent that can get annoying sometimes, but I think it fits very well with this character, especially as a librarian, like yelling. And then it's kind of like that All That character that was played by, like, what was it, Mary Beth Denberg or something? Oh, it's Lori Beth Denberg, not Mary Beth. So Lori Beth Denberg, the librarian, where she was like,
Quiet! This is a library!
so it's kind of like that, honestly, but it's a little more nuanced.
I need to renew this book.
Renewed. Oh my god, this book isn't due for 3 days. What's wrong with you?
I'm being responsible.
Ugh.
And then we have Mr. Frond, who I would put in We Acknowledge. He has a very large part in the show, but it's not like I love him, so I don't hate him. I just think, you know, like he has a role in this show. His rivalry with Louise is funny, but I don't have a lot to say about him. Mr. Bronca. He's the janitor. I appreciate Mr. Bronca. I think he's a kind soul. He helps Tina, or helps all of them, really, at some point in the series. I think he's just a sweet old man. Regular sized Rudy. I enjoy regular sized Rudy. I think he's fun. I like him and Louise together. I don't know, like, romantically or not. I do like their friendship, and I mean, they're children, so I'm not gonna say anything about them getting together, but I do think there was, like, an intent there for them to be at least, like, very good friends, obviously. Like, a friendship that is unlikely, because Louise is so, like, guarded and doesn't like to let people in and doesn't like to be friendly with people. And Rudy is so, like, hesitant as a person. He's very shy, and that dynamic between them of, like, she's very extroverted and he's very introverted, like, very opposite personality types. I like them. Tammy, again, like Mr. Frond, has a very large role in the show. Like, she's very prominent, but I obviously don't like her. She's not very nice. She's mean to everyone that she is around. And I love Jenny Slate, who plays her. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. She's so hilarious. But Tammy is just so, like, awful as a person. It's just like, oh my god, I can't stand you. But I don't hate her like I do with Jimmy Jr. Because I don't know why. I think Jimmy Jr. is just so... he's just so aloof and, like, not in a good way. And I think it annoys me that Tina's so obsessed with him. Again, logic doesn't matter here. Teddy. We enjoy Teddy. I like Teddy. I mean, I think he's very awkward. He's also very, like, reactionary. Like, he's very impulsive. He and Bob fight all the time. Well, not all the time, but sometimes it's just like they fight and you're like, why are you guys fighting right now? You're just so angry and not listening to each other, especially Teddy. But I don't know, I just like his presence. I think he's very, like, fun and goofy. So anyway, Tina. Now this is going to be my most controversial take here, I think. I don't care about Tina at all. Like, I know I just said, like, it bothers me that Tina's obsessed with Jimmy Jr. and he's just, like, so rude about it. So, like, I kind of care about Tina, but I don't. It's annoying that he does that to anyone. I think that Tina is so overrated. There's so much, like, merch with Tina quotes, Tina's face, Tina everything. And she's so lackluster to me. And I hate that she writes friend fiction. That is one of my least favorite things on the show, is the friend fiction thing. It's so creepy. Like, I understand writing fan fiction. I've literally written hundreds and thousands of words of fan fiction. And I've unfortunately written fan fiction about real people that were celebrities. And I would rather have not written that, like, looking back. I'm not saying that you shouldn't write fan fiction about real people. I don't like it. But as long as you're not like sending it to people, like I really don't care. Don't pester people about their sexualities, all those things. But she's writing fanfiction about her real life friends, like literally her friends. It's not like they're consenting to it. It bothers me so much. And that's not like the only thing I don't like about her. I'm not saying I hate her, right? Because there are obviously redeeming qualities to Tina and she's part of the family, but I just don't care about her. But when there's a Tina episode, I'm like, I'm not interested in this. And I feel bad, but I also don't. I don't care. I don't care at all about Tina. And that's just how I feel. Zeke, we appreciate Zeke. I think he's funny. I just think he's funny. And I think while Jimmy Jr. is like rude and just like does not care about people, I think that Zeke does. But also like he's been rude to people. And then, like, I genuinely think he feels bad about it most of the time. Like, I don't know. I just get this vibe from him. There's more to him than, like, Jimmy Jr.'s friend. I feel like there's more depth there, and it makes me appreciate him a little more. Okay, so that's my ranking. I am going to go in and, like, move everyone around. If I might make some switches, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we're back. So this is the final ranking. We have Jean, Bob, Marshmallow, Lance. I did move Kuchikobi down only because there's something ominous about Kuchikobi that makes me feel like a little off. But anyway, Linda, Louise. Oh no, Louise goes first. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Louise, Linda, Deli Guy, regular size Rudy, Teddy, Kuchikobi. Andy and Ollie, Jimmy Pesto, Hugo and Ron, Mickey, Mr. Ambrose, Mr. Bronca, Zeke, Mr. Fischoeder, Mr. Frond, Tammy. Oh, I moved Mort down to We Don't Care because I was just like, wait, I don't care about Mort. I really don't. There's just not enough to him, I think. And then Tina, Millie, Gail, and Jimmy Jr. Actually, you know what? We do this. Yeah, I hate Millie the most, then Jimmy Jr., and then Gail. So that's my ranking. And now I am going to get on the phone with my friends and see how they feel about all of this nonsense. So, how exciting. Hi!
Hi!
This is my friend Katelyn. I am here to talk to her because we both love Bob's Burgers, and you know, I made a ranking tier list, and people have feelings, so I just want to talk with you, and you're here to argue with me about what I did wrong. So what is it that you think I did wrong?
I think you did everything wrong. No.
Okay.
I actually do agree with most of the list. Most of them are pretty much where I would have put them. I think the one that I would argue is to move Teddy further down the list would be my argument for the day.
I see. Why do you think I should move Teddy down?
So, for me, Teddy is just a character that I would put squarely in the don't care about category. And I know that's a real unpopular opinion. I know, like, anytime they have a group of the characters together, it's like the 5 Belchers and Teddy. I get it. It's the unpopular opinion. But I feel like what I don't like about Teddy is that all of his storylines tend to be focused on, like, either a misunderstanding or like he takes something the wrong way and runs with it, or he's kind of out on a limb by himself and nobody else is really on board, and it just frustrates me more than anything. It's just kind of this never-ending cycle of like, oh, there's Teddy just being Teddy again, and it just gets angry after a while.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I don't like miscommunications in like media either. I think it's very frustrating, like a trope to use. I just think Teddy's like a really goofy guy, and that's what I like about him. But I think he might kind of just remind me of my dad, so there's that that might factor into it. I don't even know, but I just think his charm is in his goofiness, and that's what I like about him. So I probably won't move him But
I guess that I know it's an unpopular opinion.
I can respect it. I mean, obviously, I don't care. Everyone has their own opinions. Like, who really cares, honestly? But also, you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. Is there anything else that you would like to say that I did wrong?
You know, everything else I feel like was pretty much on par for me. Yeah, I mean, the only other one I might move a little bit is Andy and Ollie, which I think is another popular opinion. I don't love them as much as you do, but I wouldn't fight you on it. I think they'd be, as long as they're somewhere in the middle, that's about right for me.
Yeah, they're in the middle, so, I mean, I put them, like, higher middle rather than lower middle. I think, realistically, if I were to divorce them from the fact that I think that me and Melody are very much like Andy and Ollie. Right, like that's like the only reason that I put them there. Other than that, I probably would put them lower just because they're not big characters in the show. Like they only come in every once in a while, so I would just be like, whatever. Like, but since they
are like Marshmallow.
Right, exactly, because Marshmallow is in so many of them, and Lance the turkey. Other than that, how do you feel about Tina?
Oh, where was she on the list again?
Tina, I put at don't care.
Put her lower.
Right.
Well, unpopular opinions. I could go all day long. Let's go.
Right. I just don't care about her. My main gripe about Tina is that she writes friend fiction. Like that's I find so creepy that it almost makes me want to put her in the F tier, like the we hate. But it. I don't know. I was like,
I like her a little bit more just because sometimes the storylines do land with me a little bit better, but it's like minimally more. Like just a tiny bit more. That's like, all right, maybe I'll enjoy this episode a little bit more, but take it or leave it. She's just not for me. I just don't understand why she's everybody's favorite character, but hey, to each their own, I suppose.
Right. Like, I like butts as much as the next person, but at the same time, it's like, when is it too much?
Your whole personality, all right?
Yeah, like, when is that, like, if it's your whole personality, then, like, I just don't understand. Well, thank you so much for talking to me about Bob's Burgers, and eventually we will get our Bob's Burgers tattoos.
Yes, one day. Thank you for having me.
Oh, also, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. It doesn't make any sense to anybody watching.
All right, well, I hope you have a good day.
You too.
Bye. Hi. How are you today?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad I asked you in the beginning of this conversation.
More about how I feel than how Katelyn feels. We all know that.
We are here to talk about what I did wrong in my ranking list. So what do you think I did wrong?
So coming up, what I think you did wrong. I mostly agree with what you have on there, except for Gal. I was very hurt that you put her as we hate, because I feel like it's too strong for Gal. Like, I understand where you're coming from, and I know, like, a lot of qualities that people love about Gal are reasons you don't like her, but putting her in comparison to, like, everyone else, like, it's just such a strong feeling. And Gal has had so many, like, beautiful things. Like, she's part of the songs with Mr. Fischoeder in the Electric Love one. She has, like, the Thanksgiving songs with Jean. She just does, like, the board game that she has. I like her interactions with her cats. Like, they're silly and stupid, but I love them. I mean, obviously have the stuff like the dentist and, like, other things like that are, like, weird and creepy and embarrassing and stuff like that. But overall, like, she's kind of more of a joy. We don't hate her. So I would personally put her in, like, we acknowledge.
Yeah. I did kind of forget about the Electric Love thing, and that's one of my favorite, like, songs that they've ever done on the show. I don't know. You're really making me think about moving her up. Yeah. So I do think I might move her up just one. So I'm not gonna put her in we acknowledge, but I don't care about her. I don't hate her, especially in relation to the people that are in that that row there, I really don't. I hate Millie so much. She's my least favorite character in the show. And
it's hit or miss with the ones that you're putting her, the new category you put her in. Like, sometimes you'll have like storylines with them and you're like, I love this. This is wonderful. Right. Well, then the one you're putting her was with Tina and Mort, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then fair, same thing. I feel like some storylines you're like, yes, I love this, wonderful, and most of you're like, no,
right,
pass.
Yeah,
good.
Right, exactly. Like there's a healthy balance there. So, is there anything else that you think I did incorrect? Yes, everything.
Whole thing, do it all over. For me personally, like everyone knows I love Louise. She's my number one. So I would put her in S tier. But even when I talked about this, I understand and I'm okay with her being in A tier. Like, it's fine. It's not, but it's fine. Like, I love her and I think she's wonderful. So I'm a little sad not to have her in S tier, but I get it. It's fine.
I hear you. Yeah. I think the biggest... I love Louise so much. I mean, first of all, you are Louise and I love you. So there's that. I mean, you're not exactly like Louise. So in the way that you don't scare me like Louise scares me. So
I sure don't.
Oh, okay. But
never, not Emily.
So I do. That's really the biggest thing for me is that she's kind of terrifying to me. But I do love her.
She pushes it too far.
Yes.
Like maniacal, and then sometimes it's like, no, don't go there.
Right.
Come back.
Right.
Don't do that.
And everyone around her brings her back in always.
Yeah.
Like she's never like evil, but like
right.
she has those
thoughts,
and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Doesn't always go there.
Right.
It's like, okay,
right.
You're right. That was too wild.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then I love the turkey that you have in S tier and Marshmallow.
Yes.
Both of them chef's kiss. They deserve that. That's that. Love it so much.
Of course. And it's like, just like Marshmallow says, she's called Marshmallow because if there's a sweet potato, she is on it. And so you have sweet potatoes when you have Thanksgiving dinner, and that's just perfect time with the turkey.
I love all of these connections. They're definitely on par.
And Bob loves Thanksgiving, and so everyone in S tier is all Thanksgiving related. So there's that.
And Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, so we're
right.
all
Yes, exactly. It's also one of my favorite holidays, and to be clear, it's terrible. Like the whole idea of Thanksgiving in general.
Yes. Thanksgiving, yes, understandable. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, the origins of Thanksgiving, absolutely terrible. Do not condone. However, eating food with family or friends or both, wonderful times. So that's the best.
Well, I was also born Thanksgiving, so I'm also very biased.
Exactly, right.
I was born.
Yeah, you can't not be biased when you're born on Thanksgiving. So, first of all, I forgot to say that this is my friend Melody.
Just a random person on your screen. Expert, and
it's gonna say that underneath your name. I'm just gonna put
I'm not watching it. I'm happy to be here today to fulfill that role.
Yes.
No other reason. You're my friend.
Yes.
I don't know anyone else involved in this production, but I love you. Yes. This is my sole purpose. To go from video to video.
That would be quite the job. I would be so happy.
You know what? I wish.
Now you can see what, we are Andy and Ollie. We just love each other so much.
If I could hug you right now, it would say to hug you and we weren't in different areas.
Yes,
I would hug you.
Yes, air hug.
I was thinking about Andy and Ollie were older and they were in quarantine. They couldn't handle it.
Oh my god. They would literally die.
You're right. They would be living together. There'd be no way.
Yeah.
But what if they got into colleges?
They wouldn't.
Yeah,
right. No, they wouldn't. But then it's what happens if they eventually get married and have families. They're all gonna just be living in one big house together, probably.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, it was lovely speaking with you about Bob's Burgers. Thank you for your expertise.
You're welcome.
Alright. Bye. Goodbye. So I did change Gale to go up higher one because I think Melody made a convincing point that she's not as terrible as Millie and Jimmy Jr. So that's my definitive ranking. Again, if you want to use this tier list, please feel free and send them to me on Twitter at @EmilyFarah_. I am so interested to see your rankings of these characters because honestly, as much as I hate Millie, I don't hate any of the other ones that much. You know, I love this show so much. If you feel strongly one way or another about any of the characters I rank, please just know that, like, none of it is in, like, malice or anything like that. Like, these are just my opinions. These are just how I feel about these characters. It's not that serious. It's not. But, I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, also, I posted another, like, episode of my long forgotten podcast called Scream of Consciousness. And it's really just me, like, rambling about things. This last episode that I posted, I hadn't posted in like months, like since the pandemic started. And in this episode I talk about just the future of what I want to do on YouTube and everything, and just in general. So if you want to listen to that, the link's in the description. In it I do talk about the possible idea of me like starting to stream. I think I would stream on Twitch, not on YouTube, but I don't even know what I would stream because I'm not a big gamer. I don't really play that many games, but the idea of streaming is very intriguing to me because I watch so much streaming content. I watch so much that it's just like, well, I kind of want to be a part of it. But I do watch a lot of YouTube too, and I also want to be a part of that. You can be both. Bisexual. I don't know. I just don't know what I would be doing on it. But if I ever think of something, I might start streaming. So we'll see. We will see. We really will. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because I will be making more videos. And that's a threat. So see you later.